Welcome back to WagerTalk.com. I'm in studio with Brian Leonard and Ralph Michaels, and I'm your host, Marco D'Angelo. We're going to talk about Wager Talk's baseball first pitch. It's back. Ralph, you debuted this last year at the site. A lot of fanfare. You do a great job with the NBA sheet you do every day, and now we've got the baseball first pitch. You didn't start it right away. You waited about a week, 10 days to get into the season so that we had all current data and looking at numbers from this year. Tell us some of the benefits of using the first pitch, and I'll tell you some of the things that I like about it.
Well, it's being able to see the logs in one place. That's one thing. I like seeing the runs and the hits and the normal logs you can get with the lines. But some of the things that are different that you can't get anywhere else. I've talked to Brian about what he bets and some things he looks for. To have the first inning scores for each of the pitchers' last 15 starts and each of the team's last 15 starts allows you to bet the first inning or will there be a run scored the first inning. At a glance, you could tell how the pitchers and teams done. Same thing with the fifth inning. It gives you the fifth inning scores for the pitcher logs and the team logs. So at a glance, I know we were talking about Tampa Bay the other day on the podcast, and while I think Tampa Bay was 2-14 on the game for the full game, if you bet Tampa Bay in the first 5 innings, they were 6-6-2. So you're looking at the Rays, you're getting a huge dog, making a lot of money betting the Rays for the first 5 innings and fading the Rays for the full games. And then when you look each game has a 2-page sheet. When you look on the second page on the bottom, you're going to have your home favorites, your away dogs, your lefties, your righties, your nights, and your home games. But it also gives you what the lines are. So if you're 2-2, if you have a team that's 2-2, but the average line is plus 145, that's much different than the Dodgers being 3-2, laying 170, where you would actually be losing money. So you have the records and what the average line is, so you can figure out if that actually is a positive record, or if 3-2 or 4-2 is actually a negative or a break-even record, which in baseball we know you have to pay attention to make money.
And I know, Brian, you're somebody that over the last few years, you've made some money doing the first inning wagers. And it's something because it's not the mainstream wager. This is something that's become popular in the last few years, but it's not out there with all of the sabermetrics numbers and everything where I think there's value in these wagers yet because the books aren't looking at them and the lines aren't as tight is what I'm trying to get at.
Not as tight at all. You see them move off of one bet, 10 cents, many times here in Las Vegas. I love the sheet. He's got the first inning on there. He's got the first 5 innings. I know we've talked in the past, for example, the Yankees. The Yankees are a team that supposedly, and I think it's going to pan out this way, they've got the greatest bullpen in the history of baseball. This year, it's not working that way. They're getting better starts out of their starters than they are. So you have to depend on what kind of line you got there. Is this bullpen the way it's set up right now for the Yankees? Is it nearly what it should be? And you can make that up from the first half of the game or the full game and decide between yourselves. And how many times have we seen an announcer say, if you don't get to this guy early, you're not going to get to him at all? And that's what the first inning bets are based on. And I like to know not only how many runs they give up or how many times they give up a score, but also how many pitches does it take them to get out of the first inning. Sometimes we'll watch a game and the guy will go 35 pitches and he gets out unscathed and it's going to be a 0. Well, unless you watch that game, you don't know the 35 pitches and it was that hard to get out of it.
It's good stuff. And then you talk about the first 5 innings. Having that data right at your fingertips is just such a benefit. And there are so many teams that have, different characteristics. The Pirates are off to a good start. They're off to a good start. They have one of the worst bullpens in baseball. You want to look, to have a safer bet, you want the Pirates in a first 5 inning wager. I'll give you another stat on the Pirates that people don't like to put a lot of emphasis on. I do. It's old school. I think there's a huge difference between lefties, righties, and day and night. Look at the Pirates record, and I don't have it in front of me, but I can tell you their record in night games so far this season, and they're off to a very good start, is just mediocre. And you go back to last year, they had a horrible record at night. But their day record this year, because earlier in the season, you also see more day games earlier in the season, in the weekend games and such, they're phenomenal. And we're taping here on Wednesday. They were pounding Colorado, which happened to be a 12:30 start in Pittsburgh today. So you will find those kind of tendencies by looking at those, breaking things down a little bit further. Don't look at just, general stats. You want to break it down as deep as you can do. And yeah, it takes your sample sizes down whenever you keep filtering stuff out, but you can find niches in stats.
We just talked about in our last video about pitchers' tendencies on home and away. So it's just different ways to handicap the games.
And the other thing is, you're going to hear an announcer every time you watch baseball, what the pitcher does the second and third time through the lineup. And by looking at a pitcher's logs for those first 5 innings, the elite pitchers, your few elite pitchers, Klubers, it doesn't matter what time through the lineup, they have the same stuff. But there's so many pitchers that get hit harder the second time. Those are the guys that you want to focus. Is it worth a full game wager? Is it worth a first 5 inning wager, and how long they go?
Good stuff, guys. And check it out each and every Tuesday at Wager Talk. It's $2 Tuesday. We always pick a hot capper, and we offer their best bet for just $2. That's right. A play that would normally sell for $25 or $30, you get it on Tuesday for just $2. We pick one capper, and you can pick it up. It's a great way to introduce yourself to Wager Talk or to a new capper. Check it out each and every Tuesday and see who the $2 capper is. If you love these videos, guys, do us a favor. Click the thumbs up button, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and be sure to share it with all your friends. We'll be back next week with more here at WagerTalk.com.